to keep social distance, now saying he wants to restart the economy by Easter. President Trump's words going against what many of his own health experts have said, that the worst has yet to hit, that social distancing is imperative to give hospitals in this country a chance to keep up with demand, with intensive care beds and ventilators. The president saying we lose thousands of people to the flu, but we don't shut the country off. The president talking moments ago. Meantime, his own team pressed, do they support this new messaging? How they answer. Across the country tonight, the number of cases of coronavirus rising dramatically. In New York City alone, the number of cases doubling every 3 days. And tonight, New York's governor asking the feds, do you want a pat on the back for 400 ventilators? We need 30,000. What happened after those comments? Tonight, these images of a packed New York City subway. Tonight, we hear from doctors and nurses across this country on the front lines what they desperately need, worried about bringing the virus home to their families. As tonight, we now learn of 2 healthcare workers who have died from coronavirus. And news tonight on former presidential candidate Amy Klobuchar's husband. She reveals he is now hospitalized on oxygen. And like so many Americans, she is unable to be at his side amid concerned loved ones could get this at the hospital. The toll here in the U.S., a 34-year-old man dying from the illness. Louisiana tonight becoming one of America's newest hotspots. Confirmed cases there tripling in just days, weeks after Mardi Gras. And Dr. Jen Ashton is here tonight. How long can you have this before you even show symptoms? And we asked the doctor tonight about news of a possible test to see if you've already had coronavirus and if you now have immunity. Late developments on Capitol Hill tonight. Will Congress pass the $2 trillion relief bill? News tonight, the Summer Olympics have now been postponed. And we have learned this evening a famous playwright has now died from coronavirus.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Tuesday night. And this is yet another heavy night of news. President Trump with conflicting messaging today on the coronavirus. After the White House pushed social distancing to halt the spread of this, to give doctors, nurses, and healthcare workers a fighting chance against this, today the president signaled he wants the country open by Easter. It left medical experts, members of his own, to answer questions about whether they would offer that same guidance. As health experts say, we are not even close to seeing the worst of this yet. Tonight, the number of cases in America now more than 53,000, nearly 10 times more than just a week ago. More than 670 are now dead. At least 22 states imposing stay-at-home restrictions, 4 more states in just the past 24 hours. Empty streets from Boston to Detroit to Dallas tonight to California's Pacific Coast Highway. The most cases nationwide now in New York State, the number doubling every 3 days, the vast majority of those cases in New York City. And these are the lines today outside Elmhurst Hospital in Queens. At first, 400 ventilators from the federal government arriving in New York at the city's emergency management warehouse. New York's governor asking the feds, the White House, do you want a pat on the back? We need 30,000, pointing to the nation's stockpile, begging the federal government for more help. The governor saying what happens here will happen across the country. And the images tonight that caused alarm, service now reduced in New York City and in so many other cities. And look at this, the crowded subway car. This is in New York City at 5:30 this morning. There is new concern in many parts of this country tonight, including Louisiana for one, just weeks after celebrating Mardi Gras. The governor there now saying its medical resources will be overwhelmed in a matter of days, calling for a major disaster declaration. Tonight, the Pentagon sending 2 Army field hospitals to New York, another one to Washington State. And as I mentioned, Dr. Jen Ashton with your questions tonight and news of a possible test on the horizon that just might be able to show whether you've already had coronavirus, if you might have any immunity to it. So we will carefully guide you through it all again tonight. And we begin with ABC's Chief National Affairs correspondent Tom Llamas, who interviewed New York's governor just today.
Tonight, as the coronavirus spreads through the country, President Trump warning the restrictions may infect the economy to a point of no return. The president now saying he wants the U.S. open for business by Easter. That's in 20 days.
I will tell you that right now. I would love to have that. It's such an important day for other reasons, but I'll make it an important day for this too. I would love to have the country opened up and just raring to go by Easter.
Later adding he'd like to see churches full.
I would love to aim it right at Easter Sunday, so we're open for church service and services generally on Easter Sunday. That would be a beautiful thing.
President Trump comparing the more deadly coronavirus to the seasonal flu.
We lose thousands, I brought some numbers here, we lose thousands and thousands of people a year to the flu. We don't turn the country off, every year.
The president's own team pressed whether the country should be easing social distancing within weeks, not months.
I think the question is really, can we be laser focused rather than generic across the country? In other words, can we use our data in a laser focused, granular way to really look at what's happening on the ground and adjust our public health messages based on what is actually needed by the number of cases?
Right now in New York, people are dying from COVID-19. The country's hot zone, the infection rate doubling every 3 days.
One of the forecasters said to me, we were looking at a freight train coming across the country. We're now looking at a bullet train.
A frustrated Governor Andrew Cuomo predicting the virus's peak in New York will be faster and higher than expected. 140,000 hospital beds and 30,000 ventilators needed now, calling on the federal government to help get it done.
When we went to war, we didn't say, any company out there want to build a battleship? Who wants to build a battleship? Anybody want to do that? That's not how you did it. President said it's a war. It is a war.
FEMA setting up this field hospital in New York.
The Javits Center where we are right now is not only going to be a hospital, it's also going to be a distribution center. And here's some of the supplies. You have cots, hospital beds, latex gloves, and the critical piece of equipment, the ventilators.
Today I asked the governor about the president's push to reopen the country.
To President Trump, what would your message be about balancing the economy versus making sure this no longer spreads?
We have to be smarter about it. You can't sacrifice human life to get the stock market up. That is a repugnant concept. There is no dollar figure on human life in this country, and there never should be.
In New York and across the country, doctors telling us tonight what it's like.
We are soldiers very much in the bunker fighting this invisible virus. And we enter the trenches every day when we go into the hospital, whether it's in our emergency rooms, whether it's on our intensive care units.
But right now, it feels like I'm fighting a fire with blindfolds on.
We're now learning 2 healthcare workers from Georgia have died from COVID-19 infections. Gabriel Najato, a physician's assistant in Atlanta, fears exposing his family to the virus.
It's been tough not trying to be as close with my sons because I'm worried about getting them sick.
In Oregon, a field hospital going up. In Wisconsin, a rush to donate masks. And the Ford Motor Company now starting to manufacture medical face shields. The virus infecting people from all walks of life.
Blood and his oxygen levels were dangerously low. So he's been there for a few days.
Senator Amy Klobuchar, who just ran for president, telling us how her husband is now hospitalized and on oxygen.
I would rather be there with him right now. And I can't do that. All you can do is call and email and text and try to reach the caretakers who are taking care of him. I've never even met them to get updates.
Senator Klobuchar talking about the situation so many families face when their loved ones get taken to the hospital in these emergency situations and then they can't visit them. They just have to hope and pray from a distance that their loved one gets better. Tom Llamas back with us again tonight. I want to get right to the news moments ago, Tom. We heard from the president who reiterated his hope to get this country back open by Easter, but he said he would be guided by Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birx, who we've all come to know standing behind the president. And Dr. Fauci did weigh in on this.
That's right, David. This news just came in, and Dr. Fauci was very, very clear about this. The president may want to reopen the government on Easter, but Dr. Fauci has told him, he told him in the Oval Office, they have to be flexible. They're going to look at this from a day-to-day basis and see if that's even feasible. But he also points to New York, saying if you look at New York right now, Easter Sunday does not look like it's feasible to reopen New York. David?
And quickly, Tom, before I let you go, Dr. Birx also weighing in a short time ago saying those who've recently been to New York City should self-quarantine in their homes for 14 days as they return home elsewhere around the country.
Yeah, this was a pretty big headline, essentially agreeing with the governor of Florida. They said if you live in New York City and you left because of the crisis here, you need to self-isolate for at least 14 days, regardless if you went to Florida, North Carolina, or David, just a few hours from here in Long Island, you need to self-isolate for those 14 days. David? A
lot of fast-moving parts. Tom Llamas leading us off again tonight. Tom, thank you. This evening we have a new reporting here on the toll across this country. In New Orleans, for one, the number of cases skyrocketing tonight. The warning from the governor there just weeks after thousands celebrated Mardi Gras. And the death toll in the U.S., including a 34-year-old man. Here's ABC's Kaylee Hartung tonight, back reporting for us after recovering from the coronavirus herself.
Tonight, the virus taking its toll. Jeff Gazarian, just 34 years old, one of hundreds to die in the U.S.
He just had a lot of love and humor and could approach and talk to anybody.
Gazarian's loved ones say the cancer survivor was on a ventilator for 5 days before losing his battle late last week in California. The dire warning now being sounded in Louisiana. Confirmed cases tripling since Friday to roughly 1,400.
Don't go out unless you absolutely have to. The virus is here and everyone needs to act as if they have it.
Just 4 weeks ago, the entire city of New Orleans and thousands of tourists celebrating Mardi Gras. At least 270 now hospitalized across the state, many needing critical care.
It's like I'm standing at the shore and watching a tsunami coming in, but it's coming in at a very slow prepare, but I know it's going to be coming.
Tonight, thousands with the virus under quarantine. After reporting from the nursing home in Washington state that was overrun with cases, I began to feel symptoms. My body ached, I had chills and a headache. I took this video in the emergency room.
He just came back to tell me I'm going to be tested. Those results were going to take 5 to 7 days. I think I've got a lot of quarantine time ahead.
By the time I received my positive test results, my symptoms had mostly faded. 28-year-old Matt Robertson from Shoreline, Washington, spent 2 weeks in a hospital, at times unconscious and on a ventilator. He's now rebounding, doing physical therapy to regain his strength.
My case could have been more tragic, and that there was, that chance that I could have not made it through this.
Kaylee Hartung joins us now from her home, where she continues to quarantine as she gets better from this. And Kaylee, I know you reported last night how much better you're feeling already as you prepare to finish your time in isolation. But what have your doctors told you? What are we hearing from the CDC so far about folks like you who've had it, about any potential immunity you might have going forward?
David, officials at the CDC are talking about the need to test those of us who've had the virus to determine if we can get it again or continue to spread it. Right now, there is so much unknown about the virus, including when that immunity develops. David?
I know there's immense hope that there's some sort of immunity after you've been through it, and we'll stay on that part of the story a bit later with Dr. Jen. In the meantime, a developing headline from Capitol Hill tonight, that massive relief package, nearly $2 trillion. The Dow today soaring more than 11%. That was on indications that Congress was nearing agreement. So where does it stand? And not a moment too soon tonight for millions of families, for parents suddenly out of work. Tonight, the stories from Colorado to Massachusetts to New Jersey. Small business owners, families, workers waiting for those checks just to get by, to get food. Here's Terry Moran.
They're still at work on Capitol Hill, still struggling to reach a deal on the massive $2 trillion bill to rescue an economy in freefall.
The clock has run out. The buzzer is sounding.
Democratic leader Chuck Schumer pushing his troops, too.
There are lots of good things here, but we all know that we must do these things.
3.4 million people filed for unemployment last week, according to Morgan Stanley. That's nearly 5 times more than the highest week ever. This chart tells the story. Just look at that spike. The restaurant industry, shut down in so many places, is getting clobbered. We heard it in Denver.
People in this industry that tend to live paycheck to paycheck, not having even one is detrimental to your rents, to your car payments, to just everything, honestly.
People who get paid by the hour are getting hit hard, too. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, 3 out of 5 Americans work for hourly wages. Brian Morin's pizza shop in New Jersey has been in the family for over 25 years. He was forced to take out a $50,000 loan to help his employees get through the crisis.
We can't risk laying off our employees, and we can't risk them not having a paycheck so they can pay their rents pay their bills.
Amelia Darren owns a small jewelry business in Massachusetts, and she says orders that are ready to ship are being canceled and invoices are not being paid.
I employ stay-at-home moms, including a military spouse, and to be able to stay in business during this uncertain time is all that we can hope for.
Big businesses also crippled. The airlines, cruise lines, hotels. The desperation is felt across the country, but in Washington, still no deal. Lawmakers will work into the night, looking to close the gap and get the money flowing.
And that economic rescue package would include a $1,200 check for most Americans, a $2,400 check for married couples, and an additional $500 for each child. Negotiators tell us they think they can reach a deal as early as tonight. David?
As we mentioned, not a moment too soon, Terry. Thank you. Overseas tonight, major news on the Summer Olympics. They've now been postponed. India, 1.3 billion people, the whole country on lockdown. And from Italy, another difficult number. And images from Spain, loved ones, the dead, reportedly left behind. Here's James Longman.
Death is everywhere in Spain. This ice rink in Madrid transformed into a morgue, officials taking every possible precaution. Still, more than 500 died in a day. The country now seeing a faster infection rate than Italy. These images posted on social media show a hospital overwhelmed. An alarm tonight that the bodies of the elderly are lying abandoned at nursing homes across the country. The Spanish Armed Forces finding seniors in extreme and unsanitary conditions, corpses still in their beds in at least 4 locations. This woman desperate for news of her 97-year-old mother. We live in anguish, she says. We've no information whatsoever. It's an unrelenting spread. Over 400,000 people now confirmed infected worldwide, up 100,000 since just Saturday. Some 85% of new infections from Europe and the United States. The horrifying toll continues in Italy. 743 more deaths in the last 24 hours, although there is cautious hope. The infection rate there is slowly reducing. Other countries mirroring their national lockdown to stem the tide. Tonight, India attempting the largest ever. It's 1.3 billion people ordered to stay home for 21 days. Japan bowing to the inevitable. The Olympics is now postponed, possibly until next year. China, meanwhile, has tonight ended its 2-month lockdown of Hubei province, where coronavirus first emerged. Its epicenter, Wuhan, will reopen April 8th. Optimistic that its nightmare is ending, whilst the rest of the world prepares for the worst.
And with talk of the United States back to business as usual by Easter, it's important to remember that China has now taken 2 months to lift its lockdown, and heavy screening will remain in place even in Wuhan. David?
All right, James Longman reporting from home tonight. James, thank you. And when we come back, Dr. Jen Ashton on news of a new test. Will it show if you've had coronavirus and if you've built any immunity? We've also learned tonight a famous playwright has now died from coronavirus.
I had always heard stories about my great-grandfather, but family can only tell you so much about your history. I found some incredible records about Samuel Silverman. Passenger manifests, census information, even World War I draft registration cards. The records exist, they're there, they're facts.